Hi guys, and welcome back to our channel. Today we are doing a video that we have had a lot of questions for, a lot of requests for. We are going to start doing some math videos to help some of you out with some of that basic pharmacy math. Today we are going to work on days supply. So let's get started. So for days supply, you want to remember a formula. And it's a basic formula, guys, so don't let it stress you out. We're going to remember with day supply that we need to take how much is being taken each time times how many times a day it is taken. And then we divide that number by the total amount being given to find the day's supply. Very, very simple. I'm going to kind of show you. So it is important to note that if you do not know your SIG codes, you will not be able to do pharmacy math. That's really important. So keep that in mind. You want to know your SIG codes before you can really even start doing math for pharmacy. So here we look at this, and you should know that this says 2 tablets by mouth 3 times a day, dispense 120. What is the day's supply? Again, take 2 tablets by mouth 3 times a day, dispense 120. What is the day's supply? So the first thing we have to find out is how many tablets the patient is taking each time, and that's 2. And they are doing that 3 times a day. So we're going to take the amount they take each time times the amount how many times they take it per day, which is 3, and that equals 6. Then we're going to take the total amount of tablets the patient is being given, which is 120. We are dispensing 120 total tablets to the patient. Okay. We're going to divide 120 by the amount the patient takes per day in full, which is 6 tablets. 120 divided by 6 equals what? Remember that you always, always, always want to use your calculator when you are doing pharmacy math. The reason for that, even if you are studying for your national exam, is because you will have a calculator on your NHA exam. 120 divided by 6 is 20. So this is a 20 days supply. That means that this medication, 120 tablets of this medication, if the patient takes it 2 tablets every time, and does that 3 times a day for a total of 6 tablets a day, this will last this patient 20 days. That's what a 20-day supply means. Let's try another one. Here, this SIG says, take 3 capsules by mouth as needed for headache. Number 60, and let's talk about that number, or hashtag 60. We call it hashtag in class at KLR Pharmacy Technician Training School because this is 2022 and that's what everybody knows it as. But what that just means is just another way to say how many tablets the patient is being given in total. So what the doctor prescribed. And here it is 60. So we're dispensing 60 tablets to this patient. What is the day's supply? So again, take 3 capsules by mouth as needed for headache. Dispense number 60. What is the day's supply? So how many capsules is the patient taking each time? 3 capsules. And how many times a day are they doing that? Let's read that again. 3 capsules by mouth as needed for headache. It doesn't say to do it more than one time a day. So we're just going to assume it's 1 time a day. So we can just say 3 times 1 equals 3. Okay. Dispense 60. So we're going to take the total amount of tablets the patient is being given, divided by how many times a day they take that, or how many tablets a day they take. 60 divided by 3 equals what? Again, use your calculator. Do not get lazy about it or feel like you already know the answer. Don't take any chances. 60 divided by 3 equals 20. So again, this is a 20 days supply. Let's try another one. This one says, take 2 tablets by mouth 3 times a day. Dispense 180. What is the day supply? So again, how many tablets does the patient need to take each time? The answer is 2. How many times a day does the patient take 2 tablets? The answer is 3. 2 times 3 equals 6. What is the total amount of tablets being dispensed to the patient? I'm going to divide that number by the number of tablets they take per day. 180 divided by 6 equals 30. This is a 30 days supply. Let's try another one. You see the process is the same for every single one that we do. This one says, take 2 tablets by mouth 2 times a day as needed for cough. Dispense or number 240. What is the day's supply? So how many tablets does the patient take each time? 2. And how many times a day does the patient take 2 tablets? 2. 2 times 2 equals 4. What is the total number of tablets being dispensed to the patient? We're going to divide that number by the total number the patient takes per day, which is 4. 240 divided by 4 is what? If you got 60 days, you are correct. This is a 60-day supply. This one says, take 2 teaspoons by mouth twice a day as needed for pain. Dispense 100 milliliters. What is the day's supply? Now, this one is a little bit different. Because we have milliliters where it says dispense, and we have teaspoons here, we need to translate this teaspoons or convert this teaspoons to milliliters. So we have to know, first of all, we have to know our conversions. So we need to know that 1 teaspoon equals 5 milliliters. So 2 teaspoons would equal what? How many teaspoons? The patient is taking 2 teaspoons each time, but we have to find out how many milliliters that is. How much do they take each time? And the answer is 10. And how many times a day do they take 10 milliliters? 2. 10 times 2 equals 20. And what is the total amount being dispensed to the patient? We're going to divide that number by the total amount the patient takes per day. 100 divided by 20 equals 5. So this is a 5-day supply. This one is yet a little different. This one says, take 1 tablespoon by mouth every 4 to 6 hours as needed. Dispense 540 milliliters. What is the day's supply? So in this type of problem, it is important for you to realize that anytime the doctor gives an option of how often the patient should take a medication or can take a medication, like every 4 to 6 hours or every 2 to 4 hours or every 6 to 8 hours, as a pharmacy technician, you are always going to choose the one that allows the patient to take it the most times. So if I take out the trash every 4 hours and you take out the trash every 6 hours, who took it out more? I did. Okay, so now we know that we're going to use every 4 hours. But that doesn't help us completely because we need to know how many times a day is that? It's not 4 times a day, it's just every 4 hours. So to figure that out, we are going to divide the number of hours per day by 4. There are always 24 hours in a day. We're going to divide that by 4. 24 divided by 4 is what? 6. So now we know that it is 6 times a day that the patient takes this medication. Okay. Now we can start doing the problem. Again, because here we're talking about tablespoons and here we're talking about milliliters, we have to know our conversions and we have to convert this tablespoon to milliliters. So for this, you must know that 1 tablespoon equals 15 milliliters. So now we know that every time the patient takes 15 milliliters. And how many times a day do they do that? Remember, here it says every 4 to 6 hours. We decided we were going to use every 4 hours, but that is not how many times a day. We have to go back up here and check what we found. It is 6 times a day. 15 times 6 equals what? Again, do not be afraid to use your calculator. 15 times 6 equals 90. What is the total amount being dispensed to the patient? $540, and we're going to divide that by how much the patient takes each day, and they take 90 milliliters a day. 540 divided by 90 is what? If you got 6 days supply, you are correct. This one says, take 2 teaspoons by mouth every 6 to 8 hours, dispense 80 milliliters. What is the day's supply? So this is similar to the 2 we just did. First, when we see a problem like this, we're always going to choose the one that allows the patient to take it the most times. In this case, it's every 6 hours, but we need to know how many times a day that is. To find that, we're going to take the total amount of hours per day divided by 6, which equals 4. So now we know that they take it 4 times a day. Again, we look at teaspoons and milliliters, knowing that we need to convert. We know that 1 teaspoon equals 5 milliliters. Here we have 2 teaspoons. 2 teaspoons is the same thing as 10 milliliters. The patient takes 10 milliliters every time. They do that 4 times a day. 10 times 4 equals 40. The total amount being dispensed to the patient is 80 milliliters. The patient takes 40 milliliters a day. 80 divided by 40 equals what? That's an easy one, but I would still encourage you to use your calculator. If you got a 2-day supply, you are correct. And one more, guys. This one says amoxicillin 250 milligrams per 5 milliliters. Take 1 teaspoon by mouth before meals and at bedtime. Dispense 100 milliliters. What is the day's supply? So this one is a little different. That's why I saved it for last. Here we are going to point out that amoxicillin 250 milligrams per 5 milliliters is just your drug. You do not need it. It is there to confuse you. Okay. So again, we're also going to point out here, this says before meals. Before meals, we're going to remember we have 3 meals a day. So this really means 3 times a day, guys. Okay. And then at bedtime. So if you take it before each meal 3 times, and then at bedtime, you took it 4 times a day. Okay. So up here, we're just going to put a little 4 to remind us 4 times. Now, again, we have teaspoons and milliliters, so we have to convert. So we need to know that 1 teaspoon equals 5 milliliters. The patient takes 5 milliliters each time. They do that 4 times per day, right? Because they take it before each meal and at bedtime. 5 times 4 equals 20. And the patient is being given a total amount of 100 milliliters of amoxicillin. We're going to divide that by the amount the patient is supposed to take every day. 100 divided by 20 equals, if you got 5 days supply, you are correct. So hopefully you guys found this video helpful. This is super basic pharmacy math, and we will get into some things that go a little deeper into pharmacy math. But for now, we're going to start with just the basic days supply. I would encourage you to go back through these slides, practice these on your own, and see if you can get the correct answers while going through the correct steps. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe to our channel. It is so helpful for us. And if you have any comments or questions, please leave them below in the comment section. We will see you soon for another math video.